Hi everyone, I'm with that guy, Miguel Hampton at the Ink Spot over in New Albany. We're at 1611 East Main. And I'm wondering, Miguel, what was your inspiration behind the Ink Spot?
One day I saw a toad, I kissed it, and it grew up to be a princess, and all of a sudden the princess came with a building. No, for real. So the Ink Spot actually is the first business plan I ever wrote, which was in undergrad. It was my sophomore year at Wilberforce University, and I created a business plan that took professionals and freelancers and put them in a space that was kind of like a Starbucks meets your favorite bar. And then people told me I was stupid and it would never work. Well, then Starbucks comes out and that works, right? And then everybody loves their favorite bar, that works. And then this whole concept of being able to work and creatively do things in one space, that didn't exist until WeWorks did it, what was like 2008. They started it, so it worked. I was just way ahead of the curve. And so truthfully, after a handful of different business ventures, being in different business with other people, I needed a new office. And so good friend and client was selling the building. And so I said, well, why don't we take all the concepts that I've thought about over the years and put it in one little bitty space. Okay. And so again, out of the box. So one of the slogans is think beyond or go beyond or beyond the box. Is that most co-working spaces are a minimum of 10,000 square feet. And so we are only 3,000 square feet, maybe not even that. We're just short of 3,000 square feet. Okay. And so as I started looking at it, I said, well, this is all about the things that an entrepreneur, a freelance, or a startup is really gonna need in order to be successful or at least get off the ground. What do we need? We need conference rooms, right? Sometimes we need open sitting area. Occasionally we may need a hot desk, or that's a coin phrase, but you know, we may need a chair to sit at. But what's even better is being able to sit at a chair, do some work by having someone who's equally talented or better on the other side of the table who will commune with you. But I'm also a photographer, and so I needed space for my photography. And so I said, you know, the average executive conference room, I think, is about 300 square feet. And so what I wanted from a photography standpoint and what I wanted in an executive conference room so that we could do trainings and we could teach in it, I was like, ooh, we could merge them. And so I was like, this is just one more sporadic, crazy idea, and poof, here we are.
Sorry. So the photography part is what really interests me. So you have a studio kind of in the back with the, can you explain the wall?
So we have a cyclorama infinity wall, right? So, you know, it's the type of wall that skateboarders use, right? It's a half pipe, it's a ramp. But what it does is it basically gives us the opportunity to make the wall look like it's endless. And a lot of times we use paper, or if you ever take pictures and you see the creases in the wall, it just kind of smooths it out, and it gives us a really good fun play on depth in terms of whether we're shooting someone up close or shooting someone far away. It also gives us some creative dynamics when we're dealing with lighting and things like that. And so I love that part about it, but also when teaching, you know, I want to do more programs and seminars, and I want people to be able to stand in front of a wall that's endless, so that your ideas are endless, right? And so again, out of the box.
You do so many different types of businesses and do really well with them. And so it's exciting to see you come together with this Ink Spot. So could you tell a little bit about how we worked together with the SBDC, how we did some things together with the Ink Spot?
Well, really, you tell me what to do and I do it. So, I mean, I think that's the perfect relationship, right? You be like, no, I'll be like, okay, that's not true. So how we work together. I have an idea in my head. I bring it to you, and you say, Miguel, this don't make no sense at all. Can you explain it to me? And I'll be like, no, 2 paragraphs is enough.
Oh my God.
But then she'd be like, well, how do you know financially it's gonna work? I'd be like, cause I ran the numbers. She'd be like, where? I'd be like, it's on a napkin. And she'd be like, all right, no, you're gonna write a business plan. And I'll be like, all right, cool, I'll have it to you in a couple of days. And I structure it out, and I send you the business plan, and you say, hey, this looks good, this doesn't look good, break this down, shorten this. And then realistically, it's all about the numbers.
You said, this is what I want to do. And I said, oh, I think that I may have some potential lenders.
Yes.
Right? And so I think for me, it was funny to see your face, because we met like that morning, and then later on we actually had lunch.
Yes.
And I said, oh, I've got 4 lenders for you, and your eyes got really big. So talk about that process a little bit. How did that
Well, it
lending
was really
process?
cool because I don't really like banks. And banks are uncomfortable to talk to. People who are bankers typically don't know how to run businesses and don't really understand, for me, my experience, what the business owner really needs to be successful. One particular sparked a really good conversation. They bought into it. And I think the reality of it is that banks buy into people, but they also buy into the referral, right? And so when you say, I have 4 banks, those banks believe in you and they know that you're not gonna send someone to them that doesn't fit. Now, we still have to do our part,
Yes.
right? And so, as much as it is a tug and pull, because banks are in business to do business, and as an entrepreneur, I'm here to do business, and we gotta find even footing. And we found one in one of those, so, and it worked out, and here we are.
Well, again, I want to thank you for taking time.
No, thank
It's been
you,
an
'cause-
awesome journey.
You know, I wouldn't be in quicksand if it wasn't for her. No, I'm joking.
Oh, wow.
No, no, literally, we wouldn't have done this without you. Matter of fact, I wouldn't have started at 5 Enterprises without you,
Thank you.
right? So if we want to really go back and tell that story, right? All the companies I worked for went out of business. I had this little silly, stupid business plan that it wouldn't amount to shit. Y'all can put that out there. It's not on your side, but on mine. And she challenged it, right? And so sometimes I listen and sometimes I don't. So I took some of the advice and ran with it, and some of it I didn't. That was 12 years ago.
Yes.
Right, and almost 3 projects later, so we launched Miguel salsa off
Yes.
the backbone of that.
Yes.
We launched a handful of other things off the backbone of that. So I mean, if you go back to that scale, you know, much of this you are a part of. The SBDC in Kentucky is a part of this, and so one thing I can give praise to what you guys do, and let me rephrase that. I give praise to what you do,
Thank
right?
you.
Because be honest, without you, I probably wouldn't go there, right? So that's credibility in itself as well.
Thank you.
So that's, yeah.
I'm very humbled by your kind words. Thank you. But to be honest, he's not selling himself. You've worked very hard to get to where you're at, and I do nothing but congratulate that and recognize that.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Alrighty, so enough of the love fest, right?
Nah,
Okay.
nah.